Hi there. Looking at me, you know what time it is, don't you? You're watching 30 frames a second, and it's Takeover Tuesday, boys and girls. Sit back and relax, because this show is one you don't want to miss. Wait till you see. So just looking at that intro makes you want to stay, doesn't it? Quite honestly, I'm a little bit jealous right now because Nat has fallen in love, but I'm going to have to work on my heart with Jesus. It has nothing to do with you guys. This is 30 frames a second. This is Takeover Tuesday, that's right. With the ladies of the control room, Takeover Nat show, we have a hit show for you today. Let me introduce my fellow panelists and my friends and co-hosts. Next to me is Miss Sheila Berry, of course. Sheila is the executive producer of the Gospel Showcase. She's also a producer of Community Cop and a wonderful, wonderful person. And she's just our wisdom on the board. I'm going to skip the person next to her because she has had so many great photos. But let's go to Veronica Keitt. This woman needs no introduction. She's the founder of the People's Film Festival. She's a producer. She's the host of the VK Report, director, editor, and I just just like to say genius. She doesn't like to because she's humble, which is another one of her many qualities. Now, you saw that opening, right? We want to give a special thanks to our guest today, Coco Mitchell. Coco started out teaching, but she is an actress, writer, activist, philanthropist. She's all of the above, and I am most proud to say she's one of my closest friends. We have walked the runways together in Paris, Italy, New York, everywhere in the world. And most important, I'm proud to say she's my sister in Christ.
Yes.
Welcome, Coco.
Thank you, Lou, for having me.
Absolutely. We are so excited to have you here. Absolutely. So let's get this party started. Jussie from Empire. How do we feel about this entire?
I don't know. You know, it's a lot of back and forth. It would be really sad if he just did it on purpose. He doesn't have to, you know, draw attention to himself or report a false crime. He doesn't have to.
Did he do it for finances where he believes, not that he wasn't making enough money, he wasn't making money compared to the people that do the same job he does that aren't wrapped in brown skin? Did he do it because he has an album out and the music wasn't getting, was it attention? What was it?
I believe, I'm one of those conspiracy theorists. I believe that film and music is run by a certain group of people, and it's like a little machine, a big machine. And I think that what's happening with him is part of an initiation into being launched into a further and higher career. The first part of the initiation is humiliation. So you have to allow yourself to be humiliated, and then you go through that process, and then you have a comeback.
Then you kind of prove you're worthy for us to deal with you when we can humiliate you.
Because now you are ours.
Wow.
You have to, it's almost like signing in blood. You are ours now. And now we run your life, we run your image, and if you see that with every entertainer that's out there. When they first start,
I'm my own person. I'm me.
This is who I am. This is what I want to do. And the ones who don't do that, because there's lots of people out there that are very, very, very talented. But if you don't go along with the program, it's not going to happen.
But it's a risk. Because, look, he's an African-American male, a black man, and we know when it comes to sentencing, sometimes the laws or the sentencing is not the same for others who are trying to take a gamble. It may backfire on him.
And he might not get work from anyone moving forward.
He may not get work, but he can also go to jail for perjuring himself.
Absolutely.
But if it's
filing
part
a false
of
police report.
This initiation, anything could happen. But if he goes along with the initiation, the humiliation, the rites, these are like rituals.
Then
there could
be
definitely
okay.
be a reality show. I will say this.
Yeah.
I think that my friends, my friends that are more insulted by the homophobic part of it, that he could have just said black and white and I was nigger and this and that, but to take it to that next level, I think adds in a bigger level of insult.
I don't believe he really did what they said that he did. Just for some strange reason, I'm going with my gut feeling.
So the two men that he worked for, that worked for him, those two brothers just got together and lied and...
Yeah, you know, he's like the nursery rhyme. Humpty Dumpty, he's on a wall, no one know how he got there, but he have a great fall, and this is his great fall that they just plotted against him. People do that.
Okay.
Judas did it.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, we're gonna go with that. We're gonna go with that, and I'd like us also to discuss, just recently, the maid that worked for Michael Jackson from 1990 to 1994 has now come out and broken her silence on the things that she found in Never Never Land.
But she's one of those people that does a lot of things for money.
Wow.
Yeah,
I can't say.
She is one of those people that I've seen some stuff on YouTube. And from the beginning, even during the trial, she would sell certain stories, sell things, what's going on in the house. She would make up stuff.
Wow.
And what
She's
about
not
the
to be
two young men now who've come out?
In the recent film.
Yeah, in the film and with their families and said
That's
what their
crazy.
families were paid off
Right.
to be quiet and
But if you dig deeper into the story, what's happening with those two men is that Michael Jackson, when they were young, he said, "You're going to be a film director. You're going to direct movies with me. You're going to do this. You're going to do that." And they grew up thinking that they were going to have this career. They didn't have a career.
Nothing.
They have no career. They have no money. So now, I think in their mind, the story that they're making up, they are angry with him because he promised them this stuff that never, ever
so
happened.
you're not sure you absolutely believe it or you don't believe it at all?
That Michael Jackson molested
this,
them? No, I don't believe it.
Okay.
I don't believe it. I don't
I'm in
believe
agreement.
I want to see the film. And I want to look for the consistency between their story and the family's story and what they're saying and who's saying what or not.
But
Because
what
a
about
lot-
his testimony?
Yeah,
young
'cause he
man who said-
testified twice
he
for
testified,
Michael.
and he said absolutely not. Michael Jackson never molested me. He's not that kind of person. Now all of a sudden he's saying something different. He said it when he was younger, and he said it when he was a little bit older. So
But the interesting thing
Yeah,
is
I'm
that there's a
sorry.
lot of, no, that's okay. There's a lot of young people, especially when we look at the Catholic, diocese, and the popes, or what are they, popes, right?
Yeah.
That was raping
the priest.
priest.
the priest, I'm sorry, that was raping these young boys. Initially, they didn't say that this was happening to them. There was a lot of fear associated with it. They're coming out now, but you can see how that child or that person's life spirals out of control, throughout the years. Trauma associated with that type of forcible rape. I mean, because this child is innocent, they believe.
Right.
It really can do some serious psychological
Absolutely.
damage. And that is something that you would probably hold in, depending on what it is. Oh, you're going to go to hell. We're talking God, we're
Oh,
talking religion.
absolutely. And or will hurt your parents if you tell. Or as if what one of the young men said, Michael always told him after it was done, remember, if you tell anyone, we're both going to prison. We're both, he said, I just
It is
knew
so
that I
sad.
was going to go to prison as a
It just
young
disgusts me.
young person, and then once my parents found out and we were paid X amount. Now, I will say, speaking to Nat earlier, Nat has seen the movie
I haven't seen
and really encourages all of us
Right.
to go and see it. So for the viewing audience, please let's all go and have an informed opinion. I love you so much. It's like let's see it all and hear
Yeah.
it all.
Right.
Yeah.
It breaks my heart to think
It
that would
does.
be true.
But his lawyer sat one of those young men down and explained to him before the trial what is molestation. I'm going to explain every little thing, every little touch. Did this happen? And he said no.
Wow.
So if you're going to have a movie, then you have to have the whole picture. They didn't interview the lawyer, Michael Jackson's lawyer.
Right.
Did you see the movie?
No, I didn't see the
Okay,
movie.
I
I've just seen
Okay.
different people.
Because I don't know if they did. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
And were these
but I
young
would hope they
people-
would have.
No.
Well, they
I would hope.
cross-examine, by the others, like I would be
I would
curious to
hope they
know.
would have the trial transcripts, what was asked, how it was answered when
Right.
It
people
was pretty
answered
graphic in
incorrectly.
detail, what I've been hearing, the bits and pieces. It's really graphic. So it's, it takes a lot to create a story like that. So you just, like I said, looking for the consistency, the continuity in the story. Does it make sense?
Oh, and I have been very bad host. Before we go on, and you just reminded me, our hearts go out to all of those in Alabama.
Yes.
With the recent tragedy that is there, I have personal friends there that homes have been destroyed. There are more than 25 known deaths now, and there's still quite a few missing. So we would just like to say our prayers and our hearts are with you. The recent events of just these natural disasters and how slow we are in getting help to people. We won't even go into the fact that our commander-in-chief didn't know he was the president of the U.S. Virgin Islands. We're going to skip over that. We're going to go to Puerto Rico, that is part of the United States and still is partly devastated, that water couldn't get to certain places. What are we doing? I mean, we don't even talk about New Orleans and other places here in the United States where people are on top of, what are you doing? We couldn't. So what's going wrong with that? Why isn't help getting to people sooner? Is it red tape? Is it too many chiefs and not enough Indians? Is it we don't care?
I think it's a disconnect. It's a disconnect, and it really is based on how you really are socialized and how you view one another. Like if you're looking in the lens or the eyes of someone else that says, oh, they don't need it, like, or they don't deserve it, or like when Barbara Bush went into New Orleans, it says, oh, they living better than they ever have inside when they were in the dome. It has a lot to do with how they see.
Our society is kind of warped right now.
It is so warped.
It's all about me. Me.
In the United States alone, they would a lot of people would rather send money overseas or anything that they have to do overseas than to take care of home. And I was told charity begins at home. If you have people,
or animals.
Yes, if you have
people giving money to animals,
children getting on television, oh, that broke my heart. I'm so hungry, I wish I could die. And you have all these pictures coming on TBN about, oh, help the Jew. What about the people here?
But it comes from the head, remember? When you have a president who calls Haiti a S-hole country, and then you have a president who opens up the door for people to voice how they feel, how they really feel. I mean, he's a horrible president, but he did, one thing he did that I like is that now—
Open the lines of communication?
No, open the lines for you to tell me really how you feel about me. Because I tell you, when I was in Europe, you walk in, and they look at you and they say, who sent you here? And you know, I have an agent, I didn't send myself. And I'm thinking, oh, I have no idea how to answer this question. So my mother always told me, if you don't know what to say, just smile. So I stood there smiling. They thought I was crazy. But one thing, you know what she said to me? She said, we told them we didn't want any black girls.
Wow.
Now, the way I was raised, you stay focused, you stay with your intention. I came here to get that job. I don't care what you're saying. I must not be black. My agent sent me here. But in Europe, they'll tell you that. Here, they'll let you go on castings and have no intention of booking you.
None.
Have you running around?
None.
So now, because of the crazy president, I believe the only good thing that he ever did was white people open their mouths now. Now they say,
I'm going to name another one, Coco, because this is one of the questions I'm now practicing with the Miss USA girls.
Okay.
What are the positive things he's done? He's opened up conversations that I needed to have with friends, and I now know where they stand. Secondly, when I look at young people and I say you can be anything you want to be in the world, I now mean that, because I used to think our president had to have a certain college degree or pedigree, Kennedy or Bush. Now I know you need neither of the above to be president. So when I look at young people and say you can be president, those are the two.
That's right. That's
the two things, I think.
That's
but Coco, you hit on something earlier that just really touched my heart. Oh, before we go though, I'm sorry. The dog lady.
Take off this off?
No! The Massachusetts
you know what? I'm burning up here. I put this on. Go ahead, go. We're gonna
the Massachusetts dog lady that wanted the African-American gentleman arrested in the dog park
was too
because his dog was humping who went up, smelled her dog, and tried to hump. And when they broke him apart, what dogs do, she called the police because he wouldn't leave the dog park. Oh, that is all
But
over
you
the
know,
place.
we've always been criminalized, black people.
But isn't it worse now when,
It's worse
when a
now
black
because
person
these
falls
white
asleep in
people who are
Harvard?
like, okay, now I'm calling the police
We can
on you.
do what we want,
We can
yeah.
do what we want. You
It's okay.
don't understand. You never had rights.
That's it.
So now we're gonna let you know you don't have any rights. Don't you get it?
You can't fall asleep in Harvard because your notes, where everybody, the young people are, and a person
Yes.
falls asleep, and the police is called because she fell asleep there.
You can't be in Starbucks.
Starbucks.
You
yeah.
can't be in Starbucks.
Yeah.
Starbucks don't get my money.
Yes, you can't be in
Open
Starbucks.
season.
You can't
Call
be in
the
Starbucks.
police. 2 black men in here.
Who won't leave and they're not buying anything.
Who buys anything when they go to Starbucks? I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah.
people sit on
Sometimes
their
you sit
internet.
there.
I have
Right,
a friend
right.
that actually does his tutoring there. He's a
Right.
tutor, and the kids come back
Yeah.
and forth, and that's where he meets them.
Yeah.
Is he
in
black?
Starbucks. No,
Oh, well.
Yeah.
no, he does his
Yeah.
tutoring there.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay, so what do you have? Why
well,
are you
you know
dressed
what?
like this?
Here, well,
Okay.
I am so honored and blessed to be sitting in between two divas. I love you, Lou, all
Thank
the time. I
you.
live vicariously through her all the time. Because one of these, in my older life, I thought I would do the modeling thing, but you're here as well. And so one of the things I'm sitting here saying, okay, so then how do we choose what to wear?
Okay.
What about this old hat?
Okay,
Should
okay.
I wear the hat or not wear the hat?
What do you
Okay.
mean?
Should I wear the scarf or just wear beads?
Okay.
Well, I don't
Tell me.
understand the question.
So what should I wear? I'm asking for fashion tips.
Okay, first of all, you know me,
Hat
Lou.
or no hat?
Wait. You don't know me, but I believe that you know what you should wear.
Yes.
In your heart, you know
Yes.
what you should wear.
Yes, if it's
So
too
then
much
this
for
is a
you.
no.
If it's
No,
too much for
you
you.
know what is it too much for you? Because you know, if it's too much for
then
you,
you
put
shouldn't be
it-
wearing it.
You
So
put it to the
okay, so
side.
then what you're saying is that
It's up
depending
to
on-
you.
No, but there are some people that'll wear something and it does not look right.
But that's your
Like,
opinion.
No, that's your
Woman of-
opinion.
That's
It
your
doesn't look
opinion.
right.
That's your opinion.
And now listen, I have walked down
people
125th
live.
Street with a
So they can
woman,
do what
with
they
a
want.
woman, no disrespect, this wide with white spandex and a purple G-string that I
Oh.
can see. Yes. No, but can I
But
tell
it's
you
so-
something? Can I tell you something?
ahead.
I love her.
You
Do you know
say?
why I love her? Do you know why I love her? Because she loves herself. I would take her
That's the whole
any
thing.
day than someone who's saying, but what do I wear? But what do I wear?
How
What
do
do I
I
do? What do I
dress?
do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I
Yeah.
do?
No.
When you own it, when
you
there's
own it.
conviction,
Right. Yeah.
you know, I would never, that's not true. I would do what Coco did. But most people would say, I can't put 2 and 3 necklaces
have a
and
long
a hoop
neck.
earrings. That would be too much, and it's gold and it's black. On
Wow.
her, that looks like it should be one. I have people who say, I would never wear a watch and a cuff and this and this and earrings. And
Too
all.
much.
But for me, it's not too much. I love it when someone comes up and says this. Don't you think that's too much? My response is, yes, for you it is.
No, but aren't
should
there
never try
fashion
this.
knows that you should not do?
No, but these are rules. First of all,
Who the rules made by?
Black people invented fashion. We know we are queens, we are kings, we know we are royal, we could wear whatever we want. The thing for me growing up, my family is half Cuban, Lou is half Puerto Rican. You know we will wear whatever we feel like wearing. The
And
color
colors.
mixture and
Yes.
everything is out of control.
No disrespect, I said in colors.
Yeah, the color is crazy, and I do it all the time. But what I learned from seeing all these different women is that nobody called each other and to say, "What are you wearing?" So when I
Oh, I
started
can't
going
stand that.
out, and people would say, "What are
Me
you?
too.
What are you wearing tonight?"
I'm like, why are you asking me that?
No, I don't even say. I just go, "Oh, I don't know. I might wear a ball gown to a very informal party."
Me too.
Just because.
Because
Just
that's
because
what
I
I feel
feel
like
like
wearing
it.
it.
And if you don't like it, you have your
That's
opinion.
you.
You have your opinion. You know,
Yes.
and always be generous and graceful and gracious with people. Don't you think that's too much? And I'm like, see, I don't even answer. I just go like this.
Just smile.
She does. No, I do. I say for you, it is.
I
If
don't
you have to
answer.
ask me that,
Then
it
it's-
is for you. The fact I have it on, it's not.
Wow.
It's not for me. Now, Veronica, when I did a photo shoot, they asked me to wear ripped jeans, and I don't own a pair.
Right.
And I said, I myself am not going to go out and spend $80, $90, $100 on a pair of ripped jeans. And they were like, but they're in fashion. I don't care.
That's right.
I don't care what's in fashion, because it's going to be something else in fashion next season, and in fashion. And I don't try to keep up with the Joneses.
No.
I will keep the same sweater and wear it with a black pant, a skinny white jean, a pink tutu
Nice.
with combat boots. I would do it on the occasion. We are not trying to, we create fashion.
Right.
Yes.
They look at us and say, wow, that's fashion.
Right.
We don't say, what's fashion, and we follow it. We create it.
But somewhere along the line, it seems as though we people, in order to be accepted, they
That's
have
the
to
word.
fit in. And see, here it is. This is my question, my ultimate question. Is it fashion or is art? Because look at what's happening today with the Pradas, with the
Okay,
Blueberries,
that's
with
what I
the-
brought this.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait.
Okay.
Before we go there,
Fashion or art? You remember Beyonce? She had on that the happy black face with the big mouth and it. I'm like, what the hell is this that she got on? It was a jacket. It was. It wasn't even cute. It was insulting.
well, first,
Fashion
before we
or
go to
art?
the fashion thing, how about this new law that we can wear our hair however we want
And
now?
that's the new thing.
Black
Look
people,
at this.
you
Yes.
are allowed to wear
Yeah.
dreads now.
You can wear.
They're going to tell us, okay, now it's okay.
It's okay
When
now.
was it against the law?
It's always been against the law.
And you know what? I think a lot of it has to do with how you are comfortable with yourself, just like you said, with the clothing.
Right.
Because it was a process for me to lock. I wasn't locking prior to that, and depending on where I was working, I definitely was not going
Well,
to
there
lock.
are
But
corporate
it's a
things.
psychological process that says, you know what, lock, because you ain't going back.
May I
this
say
is
there
all-
are
I'm gonna cut it
corporate
off.
things in certain offices that, yes, they don't want certain looks. And that's up to that person. We can't force the face of my company has to be what I want it to be. Now,
This is true, but
it
when
has
you
to
But is
make
it
a law,
discrimination? Because,
it
I
is.
mean, if that is my natural being,
It
if
is.
you're accepting all of me in terms of my intellect and my work ethics and everything, but you can't take my hair,
I'm not
then
saying
you don't want
no,
me.
I'm sorry. I'm not saying your hair can't be locked, but your locks could still be pulled back in a bun.
Wow, it could be.
No, if I won't let a Caucasian
terms of
person do
safety,
dreads,
yeah.
then I don't want a black
I don't
person
want to
doing
see
dreads.
Okay, well,
But
Now
you
don't
know,
get
the
started,
most-
because
the
I knew a
most-
fine
the
white guy
most
that had
important-
dreads in
I've
London.
seen
The
some
most
nice
important thing is, does it look decent? Are you
Clean,
Are you presenting
maintained.
yourself in a decent way? Now that's the other thing. Now if you just go, I'm just going to do what I want because then you don't have a job.
Yeah.
See you later. This is my
Right,
company.
right,
Like you
right.
were saying, Lou. It's up to the company. Now if you come in and they go, oh, well, maybe it's not so bad the way she has it. You know, some women, how you have yours, they put it up, they do this, and it's beautiful. But if you're just going to be like, I'm just going
Yes.
Yeah, but you know, I because look, when we think about historically, institutional racism
That's
exists
it.
within our society,
That's
within all
it,
our organization. It has nothing to do with what this corporation is feeling today. It has something to do with tradition
Yes.
in terms of what they practice over the
Yes.
years, and they
Yes.
don't care.
No.
They don't care. This is institutionalized. So
Yes.
therefore, here I am, the new receptionist.
And now we in charge.
Yeah,
You have to
but
do what
I
we
don't
say.
know why they following a certain practice that says, you know what, you can't wear that. You know, or you can't do that, or you can't. Matter of fact, you just can't be here.
Well, why don't you know your place? That's what they're saying. No, you forgot your place. You forgot your place. Girl, no, wait, let me just pull it back, let you know your place. That's not working here.
Okay, so
And
let me
that's
take you to the next
institutionalization
step.
thing.
Because I think we're about to have a face-off, and I'm all right with that.
And
I'm
speaking
all
of
right.
face,
Okay, so I wear this. I wear this. It's the thing I love the most because my cashmere scarves will get lipstick on them.
Right.
And I suffer from severe allergy, sinus. So when cold air gets in my nostrils, it makes my eyes red. I have to go to work. So covering my ears and this is what I love. And when I go places, I can then pull it down. So let me ask you. Now, if I cut this and I had on red lipstick.
Oh.
No, would that be me being in blackface? I'm walking red lips because I just finished a fashion show. I'm freezing cold.
If you
this
cut
is
it
black.
and you got red lips sticking out.
Yeah, then it's not blackface.
If you designed it with the red lips on it, then you're responsible for what you put together. There should be something, especially designers. They should understand the history in terms of certain eras that we've been through. Blackface.
I don't think a designer should understand certain
You
eras.
want to cut it out. You want to cut it out so you can breathe. Yeah, you know they have face ski masks and things like that. That people wear, and you know it's cut out. But if you design it with lips, that's
sexy red, beautiful lips, and it doesn't go all the
Your
way up.
sexy
I'm
red,
not-
beautiful lips.
No, no,
not
no.
a designer's
Oh,
sexy
come
red,
on.
No, but
beautiful
wait a
lips.
second. You don't- no, wait, no, wait.
Art? Is it
Who
art or
designed-
is it fashion?
Who
or
designed
is
that?
it racism?
Prada came out with a turtleneck. Okay, Lou. Black
Go.
turtleneck.
Yes.
Up to here.
Yes.
With the red lips right
Yes.
there on the face.
Yes.
And they made shoes
Yes.
to go along
Prada.
with it.
That's it.
Yes.
Prada. That
That's an
doesn't
insult.
look like.
I don't find it insulting.
You don't why? So therefore, that's why I asked initially: is it art?
Because Veronica, first of all, I'm going to start with the fact that she's not in blackface. Her face is not black up to
But
here.
the lips.
If her face was, and I'm going to then go with. I see those as sexy red lips. When I look at blackface that they were doing to slap us with racism, it looked like lips turned in, out, and ugly and like this with red.
And that's
To
what it
me,
looks like to me.
That
too.
doesn't to me, and her face is not black. It is not all the
But
way up
she's
here.
white, and what blackface means is that it was a black face. They put the black grease and
I
stuff
know,
on their face,
I know.
and they're white underneath.
I agree.
She's white underneath.
I agree, but her face is here. She's not in blackface.
But it
we
is-
can't agree on that because she is not in blackface. Now
But
we'll be
they
definitely
should have been
pulling
more
this up.
responsible. As a designer, they should be more responsible, more knowledgeable, and aware of what happened in the
No,
past
wait.
traditionally.
First
we're
of
looking
all-
at the
first
minstrel
of
shows,
all-
we're looking at vaudeville, we're looking at how they used to sit there and do all of that stuff.
But we
and
have to
fetch and-
understand also in their history, if you know, in the history of the Netherlands, they have Father Christmas, and they have this black-faced white person with kinky hair who goes with Father Christmas around, and the bad kids, this is part of the fable or story or whatever, the black-faced man with the afro, like that, with the white lips, he takes away the bad kids. So the bad kids grow up. The kids
Thinking
grow up
black people will take-
are bad. But now they changed the story a little bit to make it more modern, but they have a festival of the blackface. And all the children, all the parents in the Netherlands walk around in this festival with blackface and kinky hair. They have their
And that
little
is not
children.
derogatory?
And
That
they
is-
keep
Yes, that does sound it
they
to
keep
me.
it, and the black kids who grow up there who are Dutch, because
Wow.
we live in these
Sure.
countries.
They
Sure.
accept it.
The white kids make fun of them.
But of course they would.
Because they're
So
just
They
they're
would.
perpetuating the racism. In Sweden, every Christmas, they played an old Disney cartoon, old Disney, like in the 50s, where they have the black people, and they call them La Negra, the nigger. So all over, it's a global thing. It's not just America.
even our nursery
Slave-
rhymes. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a nigger by its toes.
Ladies, I'm not
Jump
arguing
down,
that
turn
that
around,
is
pick the
horrible.
bale of cotton.
I'm not arguing that is horrible.
that's
Next,
bad. That's
I
bad.
do not understand why they were forced to take that shoe off.
But
I
what-
don't.
what
No, it
What,
really.
you know what? First of all, I would like to ask them what was their inspiration.
Oh, right.
Now,
okay.
what was your inspiration?
But if it was just that one, would you ask the inspiration?
Yes, I still would like to know what
Yeah,
was
it looks
the
like
to
the
me,
inspiration.
Klansman.
to me,
is the
they made
head.
a white version
looks like
and
a
a black
white hood.
version of a shoe.
That looks like a
That looks like a
Klansman.
Klansman to you?
Yeah, with the
Yes.
white hood. What? I mean, you got blue eyes and red lips.
What is your inspiration? That's all I want
What
to know.
about
Okay.
what about Burberry
That's
when
fair.
they had the hoodie and the noose around the neck? That was the latest one. It was a noose that was tied around the neck. And
Burberry.
I'm
That
saying
one I did not see.
Yeah.
That one I did not see.
that in itself, what are you trying to say? What message are you sending?
What is the inspiration? And I know what the message is, to just stay in your place. Stop playing with us. You think you're in charge? We run this thing.
But see, if I attach to what you said earlier, you was talking about conspiracy theories, and so I'm thinking, maybe these designers are collectively sending messages subliminally to everyone saying, hey, listen, you did it again. All you got to do is walk away and say, apologize. Oh, I'm so sorry. But I'm letting you know who I am.
That's right.
I got my news.
This is-
I got
would
my black
definitely,
lips.
I like
got
what you
my-
said, Coco. I would have to know their
What's your
inspiration
inspiration for
behind
making
it.
that?
Because
Yeah.
if they could show me something that totally said that was my inspiration.
But how about H&M? With
With the little
Coolest
boy and the
monkey in the
monkey.
jungle. And poor little boy.
Why does he have to have the monkey shirt on?
Yep.
'Cause
I
he's-
disagree.
'cause
I
you
agree
look
with
like
that.
a monkey.
No, I agree with that, and I believe that was. But I don't see it in everything.
But you
and
know
that could
what?
Be me. That
And
could
you know,
just
no,
be me.
no, I love you, Lou, but no disrespect, because I think about Megyn Kelly. She didn't see anything wrong with blackface, and she sat there and she said, "Oh, when we were young, we did this all the time. You know, what's wrong with it if you're doing it during Halloween and you make up your face?" She lost her job as a result of this. The funny thing about it, I did a little research. She comes from Champaign, Illinois. Illinois is one of the biggest racist states there was. Even though they abolished it, they had black codes, they had black laws to keep to keep blacks in place. There was a film that just came out called The Green Book.
Yes.
And so the Green Book, certain places, especially Illinois, you could not even think about. They had these sundown counties, sundown towns. You go in there, nigga, you better
couldn't
get
be
out of
on
here
it.
before 6 o'clock.
And the Green
Sundown
Book
town.
had...
She wasn't that
Yes.
far from the sundown towns. I don't know if hers was a sundown town, but she was not far. I think Peoria was one of the most notorious racist sundown towns you ever want to be. Not far from her. This is what she grew up with. This is what she saw. She didn't see anything wrong with it because it was what she was raised with. It cost them $69 million, but she didn't see anything wrong.
Yeah.
This is
But
what we do.
One of the things that I've been doing, I grew up, my mother was very active in politics and just getting black people elected, like Adam Clayton Powell, people like that. So I grew up understanding that there are laws that say you can't have this, you can't have that. So I've been studying a lot of law, right? You think about slavery, people think slavery is just the United States. You think African American slaves. Okay, no. When in the very beginning, before the Civil War, the English sent over indentured servants to help in Virginia with the tobacco. Then there were already Africans there. See, people, we don't know that we were already here. There were Africans and there were Indians and there were all these different people. So they all worked together, white and black people. They married each other, they hung out, they partied, everything else. The English come over and say, okay, you're indentured, now you're free, but we still need people to work on this land. We need to go over there and get more Africans. Okay, the English were involved in that, getting not just the Nina, the Pinta, the whatever.
Santa Maria.
Okay, so the English came over with their government, and you have to read this book. It's called Birth of a White Nation. They came over, the word white was never used. They came over with this whole group of people setting up laws, right? And they said, okay, they're the number one. They're the 1%. They live in England. But the people, these servants, the slaves, the white slaves, were now free. You're white, so you're like us. But they're not really like the English. They're like the black people who they've been working
Right, they were the
next to.
criminals that they emptied the jail cells and threw.
So here you are now, they have given you, the white person, the right to say that you're better than I am.
Yeah.
So they wrote it in the law, white, black. White people can have this, you can have guns, black people can't. So that means now you can't even protect your family as
yourself.
a man. So all of these laws, and then everywhere you look in our government, there's been a law against us everywhere. Just look it up. Look at the laws. Look at the 13th. You saw the 13th, the movie.
Wow.
You're a slave. You're going to always be a slave. You can't own anything. That's it. You're my slave. You're my nigga. You're not
But
going
don't
nowhere.
you also get
I mean,
offended when we buy into it and we perpetrate and continue generation after generation
It's a
after
slave
generation?
mentality.
It's
Yeah,
a
we
slave
internalize,
mentality.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we say, girl, if I have another baby, then I can, or I'm okay living in this, then this is all right, and
Yeah.
things of that nature. How do we help that?
How do we break the cycle?
Yes, how do we
Carter
do
G.
that?
Woodson, he said, you don't have to, at this point, you don't have to show them where the door is. They're going to cut one open for themselves. They're going to continue this cycle of abuse, of downtroddenness, of racism, you know, they're going to continue it themselves because somewhere along the line, within our communities, within our culture, amongst ourselves, we have to believe.
Amongst ourselves.
Research.
That's where it starts.
Who are you? Kings and queens of Africa.
See,
you weren't
that's it.
enslaved, you were
Yes.
enslaved.
Yes.
They took you from
Yes.
your homeland and they brought you here and enslaved you, but a lot of them came with skills. A lot of them were kings and queens in Africa. They were educated. And then here we are.
What about
now
all
you've
of
been
our
divided.
communities back in the 50s, 40s, 30s? You had communities of doctors, lawyers.
Absolutely, we had doctors and
but what-
dentists
but
and
what
architects.
happened?
That small
The red
percentage.
line. You know the red line? You know what the red line? Oh my God. The red line is a law, is a situation that they set up that white people could come to Harlem and open businesses, open restaurants. Why? I used to ask, why don't black people?
buy.
Why do we have the bodega with these people? Why don't we have the supermarket with the Spanish people? What about us? You cannot get a loan
That's right.
because they put a red line around certain places. You can't, we're not giving you a loan. You can't have anything. There's been so many situations that's like, no.
And the sad thing is that it's
The red
creeping
line.
and creeping into our everything, lives, like even with our fashion.
Yeah.
It's creeping into every aspect of our lives. How do we change this? What do we do? And the sad thing is a lot of times when we sit and we talk, or, you know, I go to some of these meetings and we're saying the same thing. Solution. Let's go to the next step. Let's create and build. Implement it and stick with it.
But you know the most important thing,
But we just keep talking.
I think has to do with our dollars.
Coco says this
They
all the time.
want our money. And so what we need to do, like back in the day with my mother, boycotting. I do not buy anything where I don't see myself represented. So now what are they doing? Okay, we're gonna let you see yourself represented. We're gonna have a lot of black girls on the show because we still want your money. I mean, it's a nice thing that they have opened the doors for us, but don't get it twisted. They want your dollar.
But wait a minute. So she said,
I'm
open
sorry.
the door.
I'm
No, but
I'm
what
like
talk
very-
about? What
I'm
about?
not paranoid, but
Because you talked about this, we had it in our film festival, the Battle of Versailles.
Versailles.
In Versailles. And so then when you had the 10 designers, some from Europe, and the 5 designers from
The American?
America, and they brought 12
Yeah.
Yeah.
African American women.
Yes.
Unprecedented. This
Yes.
is in the 70s.
Yes.
Because they seen the value. We have value. We are amazing, even our hair.
But we need to understand that and instill and teach it to each other. We have to change from within.
Yes.
We can't sit around and wait for them to help us.
Yes.
Come on, Master.
But you know what?
Come on, Master. Help me. Help me.
You know what? One of the things in Harlem, the Africans in my neighborhood eat at the African restaurant.
That's right.
They will eat at the African
Did I miss
restaurant.
that time? Oh, okay.
The Africans in my neighborhood will shop at their coffee.
Right.
There's a coffee place that I'm like, nobody ever in there but other Africans.
That's right.
They will spend those dollars with each other
In their community,
as
and that dollar
opposed
will turn
to their restaurant, to their coffee place.
That's right.
Coco, you were talking about something earlier. I don't want to misquote you. Exclusion.
Oh, but see there's a big thing in the fashion community about inclusion and diversity. Okay, and what we've been trying to do is to have more black women on the runways, black men, black women, on the runways, in the ads, in everything. But I'm the type of person that I sit back and I try to figure out what's the big picture. And the big picture for me is that inclusion and diversity is very important. But the way that they're doing it now,
Dangerous.
it's not dangerous, it just looks like a gimmick.
Not sincere. The fashion is different, the music, the whole
It
whole
just looks like a
production
gimmick. It
doesn't
looks like a
look like it
You
would
have
be.
the whole show is all black girls. It looks like a gimmick. I mean, who did? Oh,
They
it was
just
good.
had it. Zendaya.
Zendaya did
She
it. It was
had
a
it.
horrible show.
It was horrible.
But you know which show was beautiful? And Naomi closed the show. It was Valentino.
Really?
All the black girls in the show. I think most of the show was black girls, but Pier Paolo, this is the
Okay.
Italian guy, he's like, this is what I want to do. And the girls came out, not like Zendaya's show, and these are all girls who work in Europe that were in that Tommy Hilfiger show.
Yeah, yeah.
But they did not, I don't know the production, who produced Zendaya's show for Tommy
Yeah,
Hilfiger versus
He
the
gave her free-
production in Europe. The same girls walked that runway besides the icons, and they didn't walk it with the same amount of grace.
But who was in it? I think, what's her name? Veronica West was in it. Had Grace Jones in there.
Yeah,
and-
but you're not understanding
Grace
the
Jones
production
Showdown?
of the show.
Oh,
Yeah.
The quality
quality
and the
changes
level
everything.
of the
There are
show.
different levels.
okay.
It looked like,
And you can tell the difference.
it looked
You
like
would have been able to tell the difference. If
Yeah.
you had seen Valentino and seen the Tommy Hilfiger, you would have saw the difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
He gave
Yeah.
her free reign. She said, I couldn't believe that he allowed me to do this.
well, what? He gave Gigi Hadid last year, the white girl. He's doing it because Tommy, you know
Well, they
who
said
gets
he
all
didn't
the
mind.
money
Who?
from the black people? Michael Kors.
Michael Kors.
Now, Michael Kors is a
my
name on a
goodness.
black woman's lips.
Oh, my gosh.
Is Tommy
Every
Hilfiger?
handbag,
Is Tommy Hilfiger
No.
a name?
I
No.
remember when he first came
So
out.
now,
Yeah.
what does he want? He wants your money.
He wants your money. He wants the money again. I remember he had street
Black
teams
people.
going up and down 125th Street. You don't have your Tommy Hilfiger. You don't have no Hilfiger. You don't know what that is. What?
See?
And so people was like, Tommy Hilfiger, And then there was a rumor that said that he didn't want black people wearing his clothing. He went on Oprah Winfrey and
I
basically.
thought that was Liz Claiborne.
No,
it was.
no.
Well,
That was
there's a lot of them. It was
Timberland,
Timberland
too.
too.
Yeah, it was never Liz Claiborne.
You know, so it's a lot of them that don't want, but I mean, look, there was a time. Look at what hip hop has done to the industry. The cognac, Cavassier. You remember that song Busta Rhymes did, "Pass the Cavassier"? And all the because over there the vineyards were destroyed. They were not making money. Hip hop brought them back. But what did they do for hip hop in the community? Nothing.
No, because you're
nothing.
not,
But
people
we
are not
influence.
Open your eyes and look that they use black
So
people
if we
all
have
the
the
time.
power, what are we going to do with that power?
We got to
the dollars.
acknowledge we have it first.
That's
Well,
right.
And
we got to acknowledge we have it first. The
Go ahead,
kids.
Jill.
We have to.
We just-
One of the
I know, we're
rules-
just like,
She better jump in. Sheila usually is the one.
I'm sorry, I have a big mouth.
That's okay, because I'm learning something, and it's good to learn, especially something every single day. But I want to be corrected about Liz Claiborne also, because I heard different stories, and I stopped by Miss Liz.
Good.
And the second thing, I feel that if we take care of what we have, we destroy our own communities. And if we just fight to get the knowledge out to certain individuals, it's a small percent that destroy our communities, we could grow.
Yeah.
Where there's clean, you have
That's
to have
true.
some type of
That's
cleanliness.
right.
No, but the main thing I think, and there's a lot of woke young millennials out there that are really trying to do something, But Lou, and I have to thank you, I'm on the board of a nonprofit. It's called Project Brownstone. And what we do is we go to A. Philip Randolph up on the hill next
like
to City
that school.
College.
Very
and we
popular.
vet like 50 students. We just sit down and we interview 50 kids within the course of 2 days. And we choose 10 of them to give scholarships to.
Nice.
Okay, it's actually a book stipend. You know, one book could be $200. And Lou came and she, you know, gave her services. We had a fashion show to raise money. But people have to do something for the young people. They need to know that there's other things that are out there. And then the people who are doing these things, we have to not be corrupted. You're taking the money and then all of a sudden you're taking it for yourself. So
Right.
our heart turns to black.
Greed.
It turns it's greedy.
It's sad.
It's sad. So if we really want to do something within our community, we have to do it from within.
Wow.
We can't wait for the master to help us out. But we have to go out there and help each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Which
You know,
is
otherwise-
exactly what we're doing here. This
Yeah,
is why I think
yeah.
Manhattan Neighborhood Network has such an incredible family that we've. How long have we been, Veronica?
It's over 10 years.
It's over 10 years,
Tell
the
us.
three of us and Nat. It's over 10
love
years.
Nat.
You
It
too.
is.
Well, you know, I do. I just wanted to come in, you know, but I do. I like, but it's so warm.
That's
it
a
keeps me
pretty
warm.
head.
No, it is.
It is.
Now,
It
I'd love to hit on following your passions, reinventing yourself, and never stop learning. Those are our next three things. Go ahead. Never stop
But
learning.
I want to hear her tell me, because you came through the years, the ranks of the fashion industry, and it is.
I've been actually modeling for 40 years.
Wow.
Yes, yes,
Oh
yes,
my
yes.
God.
I
What they say,
started-
good black?
Don't cry.
But you know what? I believe that God has a plan for my life.
Yes.
And He's keeping me out there as, in the Bible, a token of His goodness.
Wow.
To show people that He still exists, that He is alive through me, that He keeps me there so I can just be a beacon of light. But what happened, I first started, I was teaching, I was a teacher. And I ran into Eileen Ford. She stopped me on the street, one of the biggest agencies in the world, and asked me if I had a book.
The Ford Agency.
Yes,
Ford Agency.
Eileen
Wow.
Ford, the Ford Agency. And I said, I have lots of books. And she started laughing. And I'm thinking, this woman laughing at me. And I was just smiling, thinking, whatever. And she said, well, no, I mean a book with pictures. And I said, I don't have that. I don't know what you mean. She says, you're not a model? And I'm thinking, no.
Wow.
She says, well, you're a teacher. How much money do you make? And I said, $227 every 2 weeks. I was all proud.
Yes, yes.
And I can't hardly afford my rent, nothing. And I'm walking. I'm living in Park West Village on Central Park. A little apartment this big.
Yeah.
And I have to go home and get food for my mother and do my laundry. I didn't have much clothes anyway. And I walked from 98th Street, 96 to 25th Street for
Wow.
1 year, back and forth.
Oh my
Let's talk about
goodness.
reinvention. So all of a sudden, the trajectory of your life, you never know which turn it's going to make, right? So here I am, I'm teaching. I teach a year. And I'm thinking to myself, this cannot be God's plan for my life. Where's that woman Eileen Ford? Let me call her up. A year later, I called her and she remembered me.
Wow.
That's God. She remembered me. I went to see her. I was late. She told them to tell me to come back. And I'm thinking, what's her problem? You know how we think, you know. And I went the next day. She sat me down. She explained to me how much models make. Ding, ding, ding. Because I have a family. Mother, I'm not calling her a single mother because that's a stigma. Mother grew up with a mother, grandmother, 5 brothers, and a sister. We lived in a house. We did not have welfare. We did not have food stamps, okay? That's what we did. So you're telling me now that I could make money? And then when you said I could travel and make money, I'm there. When she was talking about taking pictures of you, and that, I was like, whatever, it sounds stupid. I'm a college graduate. It sounded silly.
Right.
So here I am. I signed with her. I'm in New York. I'm going on go-sees. I'm working Mademoiselle Glamour magazine. I hate it. This is like the dumbest thing. Now it's cold. I have no clothes. What am I going to do? I said, okay, Lord, what do? I want to be someplace warm. Went to LA. The Kardashians were not on TV. I didn't know you had to drive. I grew up in a household with no car. You live in Queens, no car. How do we get our groceries? With the shopping cart.
Yeah.
Right? But no shame.
Right.
I have no shame about anything. I don't care what people think. So, okay, go to LA, don't know how to drive, don't have a car, don't have hardly any money, living with a friend, all she does is smoke pot and pass out. I'm thinking, how am I gonna do this? So I steal her car every day, up, I inch back, teach myself how to drive, da-da-da-da-da. I'm in LA, now I'm working, I have this beat up car, and all of a sudden agents keep coming from Europe and they want me to go there.
Wow.
So they send me to Italy. I work doing print magazines. I come back to LA. They send me, I said the next time they send me, this must be another step. So you gotta understand, reinventing your step, you have to understand the steps of reinvention. So here I am, a teacher, grew up in Queens with my family, very isolated. Now I'm in New York, now I'm modeling, now I'm in LA all by myself. I know no one. You know how I made money to get my car? Sweeping up hair in a beauty salon and learning to be the new shampoo girl.
Wow.
What?
With tear sheets in my book from Mademoiselle and Glamour. But because I was raised by the most strong black women, we will do whatever we have to do. I need to make money. That's what I did. I get my little beat up car that looked like somebody died in it, went on my casting, started working, went to Italy, da-da-da-da-da. Next thing I know, they're like, you should be in Milan. I go to Milan. I don't know anything about Milan. I know nothing about fashion. I wasn't one of those girls who wanted to be, is it too long? Who wanted to be
Coco,
a model.
I swear.
Oh my goodness, we're running.
We are running out of
not
time.
finished.
Okay.
Yes,
Well,
we are, but I just don't want to. I know we have 1.5 minutes, but listen,
reinvention.
you see how good that was?
Yes.
We've already invited her
Come
back.
and
Oh,
start
my
We will be back
goodness.
in May, and you don't want to miss this. And I am praying with every fiber of my being, Coco will come back. Thank
Definitely.
you
I
so
love you so much, Lou.
I'm
And it was
so
lovely to
grateful.
meet you guys.
Absolutely. Please keep in mind our People's Film Festival will be in May. We are
Yes.
looking for submissions. We
That's
will
right.
all be there. It's a great time for
2
friends
more
and
weeks,
family.
and it's closed.
Absolutely. Keep an eye out for Sheila and her show and anything
Shirley
great.
Cease's coming to town April 26th
Wow.
at Thessalonia Baptist Church. We're celebrating from Gospel Showcase the 20th anniversary of Reverend David and Sheila Jenkins.
All right.
Ooh, I love
we want to
them.
thank you so much. We have had a blast. We hope you've enjoyed this Takeover Tuesday. Remember to vote. Remember to follow your passion. Remember, reinvention is just coming natural. And remember to be fearless. We are kings and queens, correct?
That's it.
Yay.
And priests.
Yes. Well, this was the best.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us. Takeover Tuesday. Ladies, you were awesome.
Okay, ladies, please
Oh, my
answer my
goodness.
question. I heard that